Alright, so I am starting a new series, and this video will be the first of many. So, this tutorial will be for people that want to make a map from scratch, as well as for people that just want to make a simple edit of the map. Um, Through this tutorial, I'll be covering multiple different things, including this first video, maps for FS. Um, to, the next video will be about using OpenStreetMap in Java OpenStreet, and then after that we'll be moving on to a bunch of other things like adding crops to maps, adding fill types to maps, um, working in GE and adding placeables and all that good stuff. But for now, to say the least, we're going to be looking at maps for FS today, and I'm going to be showing y'all a little bit about that. The creator was IKWat, or Iwatcott. Iwatcott, bleh. I don't know why my butt gets his name mixed up so often. I read it all the time and still get it messed up. But however, obviously, I am on the Docker version, alright? So there's two versions. You have the local version where you just go to Google, you come over here, you type in maps4fs.xyz. That will take you to the local version of this. The major differences between the local version and the Docker version is with the Docker version, you get access to a few more options as well as you can go bigger in size. So you've got 2x standard size map, 4x 4x map, 8x 8x map, 16x 16x map. Um, so you can do 22 maps with this, but from what I've seen in Discord a little bit ago, he has taken away attention from 22. So Maps for FS is currently focused on making maps for 25. So we're going to start with FS25. Boom. Alright, so we're going to start at the top just to work our way down the screen because there's a ton of stuff in here to cover. But you have a step by step in here that tells you how to go about a few different things, what you're looking to do, and you've also got some video tutorials that the creator also set up already. So for some stuff that I'll be covering later on in my own ways is already here if you don't want to wait for that. Um, then you have the modder toolbox. With with this, if you want certain trees to show up in your map, the base game trees. I'm not talking on base game trees. I'm too unsure of adding like spruce or whatnot in here. I don't know if that's possible, but in here you can edit the tree schema to what you want to be in here. You've also got a texture schema, but that I haven't used all too much. So what the texture schema is pretty much I'll be referring back to this when we do the next tutorial regarding JOSM and OpenStreetMap. It'll explain it a bit more, but these are the textures that will be painted down for certain things. Say for where's forest? All right, so here's forest grass. This will be painted for land natural wood. So any area that I want trees and I have the tag of it natural wood, that'll be the texture that is also painted in that area. For example. So, and here. Okay, so you have OpenStreetMap and JOSM. OpenStreetMap is not a custom OSM. That is, you come over here, you hit this link right here, OpenStreetMap. Don't mind this being in middle of nowhere. I was making a little start from scratch map for myself last night. So, we're gonna, alright, hold on. Maps for FS. Alright, got you. Alright, now we're cooking. No, I don't want that. Alright, let's find somewhere with fields. Just because. Alright, so. Alright, now we can see. Where's all the fields at? I want. Okay, even a little bit of fields work. Alright, so. For example, if I was to come over here, take this, make this area a land use or natural wood. That's what it is. A natural wood. It would show up in trees, and it'll have the tree. Um, it'll have the forest grass painted texture. And for a field, when you would mark that out, it will show up as a mud texture, and you would go into your field toolkit and so on and so forth. That will be explained more. Now let's get back on topic because we're going a little bit off. So modder toolbox. Okay, and so the custom OSM, this is used within JOSM. If you see right here where my mouse is in the bottom of the right screen, JOSM. Um, that is where you will make your fantasy changes, you could call it. So say you want IRL, you want an ocean right here for your map, right? That would be a fictional change. So with that, you would go to JOSM to do. GeoTIFF windowing. Hmm. This one I have not messed with yet, so that will be covered at a future date. Convert image to OBJ model. Huh, that's interesting. But you've also got his knowledge base. This has a bunch of written documentation that you can follow. A bunch of it. On the map structure, DEM, textures, farmlands, fields. He's got a bunch. You've got the FAQ, frequently asked questions, more documents, and he also does the change log. But over here on your left side of your screen would be where you would upload a custom OSM file. You would either drag and drop here, put it in through here, whatever. Show raw config. Let's see. Okay, that's for stuff that beyond me and probably will be beyond you as well. That has nothing we need right now. But here's the texture schema where you change it to affect your map. When you make an edit in here, you're gonna have to press Control Enter for it to what's it called, apply to the map. And it's the same for the trees, but you can upload a custom background, custom template, all that stuff. All right, so now for the rest of it. Now this will be where it starts getting interesting. So DTM provider. Oh, I gotta find a location. Hold on. Where's my phone? Right here. I'm gonna keep it in New York just because I know that's what's local to me. You know what? We'll just use. Hold on. I know exactly what we're gonna do. drop it right in here. Hold on. That needs to get rid of the parentheses. Alright, that's sent. Let's open up Discord. We'll minimize this. Alright, so where's Google? We're gonna control V it right into there. Control enter. Boom. Alright, so now it shows in here the area that it will be doing. This square box is the radius of what's going to be fitting in the map. Down here, you can change the rotation of it, so if you want it to go left a little bit, you'll drag it negative. If you want it to go right, you'll drag it positive. With the DTM provider, you can choose between either SRTM 30 meter, which is close to accurate, but not the most accurate. The most accurate is the 1 meter DEM data. Um, Most spots it works, but there is certain areas that can cause issues, and you'll have just big squares that won't show up right in random spots of your map. Alright, so from there, the stuff I normally personally mess with isn't a whole lot, but I normally leave adjust terrain ground level where it's at. DM multiplayer can be used to make the terrain more pronounced. So, by default, as it says right here, the DM file will be an exact copy of the real life terrain. If you want to make it more steep, increase this value. But the recommended value for realism is the standard one. Minimum height scale of the map. Um, so this controls the height of your map in the i3D. So it controls also the plateau, the ceiling, and the water depth. They will be higher than this value. So this plateau is also good for making rivers. It seems that's what I will do too. But it's another way of raising and lowering your map. A lot of this stuff is very simple. He has it all right under for people to read, but some people somehow find issues. I'm just here to bridge that gap and show people something that may have not ever heard of this. But normally with a ceiling, I'll put it up 3 to 5. I'll put it at 4. For water, I'll normally do it at 3 to 4 just because when you're softening the edges of the water, it will normally bring up the bottom of the river as well, so it'll make it less deep, I guess you could say. Foundations, blur, I don't mess with it. I leave it just like that. Foundations is so if you have buildings mapped out in OSM or JOSM, they will their ground will show up in the map. They will the texture will be painted in its place, and with the foundations, it'll make it so that area is flat. All right. Now the background settings. Generate background right there. It literally generates the background for you so you can take it into Blender, set it up and bring it into the map and have an extensive land viewage as you could say. And it'll also generate water planes OBJ files for Blender as well. Resize factor, to be honest, don't mess with it. Remove center, always leave it. Decimation percent, I haven't messed with it yet, to be honest. That I haven't had a need to try yet. Alright, the GRLE settings. Farmland margin. This'll, so like fields for example, this'll make it so um, hold on. Okay, so see, it's a little interesting. You've got farmland margin, and you've also got what is it in I3D? No, I'm missing it somewhere in here. Let me get rid of this. But yeah, normally I'll throw that farmland margin up at 2 or 3, depends on how close the fields are IRL. If they're really close, I'll do that just to try and minimize any problems. Add farmyards. That's another texture schema thing. I haven't messed with that to be honest. The base price, this will be the base price of your farmlands per acre or something like that. So you're able to choose the base price in here before you set up your map as well as the price scale. You can also make it so your map comes with or without grass in areas that don't have anything. And for base grass, you can choose between small dense mix or meadow. I personally always go with meadow. Random plants, that is for random flowers and stuff to just show up. It's eh. And they show up a little weirdly. You can play with it, but me personally, I don't use that. With the plants island stuff, I don't mess with it personally. I really don't mess with these all too much. I just leave the grass the way it is. Fill empty farmlands. This will make it so all your farmlands will, your map will be filled with farmlands. Um, and then with the tree thing I was telling you all about, you can make it so it brings trees in or leaves trees out. Forest density, obviously that means how dense the trees are going to be. You can turn that up or down. I generally go about 7 to be honest. That's for me the normal shift I like. And texture settings. Dissolve, always turn that on, personally. With this, it'll make the textures look better in game, but it'll make it so it requires a little bit more time to generate the map. Alright, and with the field padding, this will make it so the field gets shrinked a little bit. So this works in hand with the farmland, what was it called? Farmland margin. The farmland margin makes it so the farmland goes past the field and oh, where'd it go? Hold on, let me minimize this one. And this one will shrink the fields. If they're super close, normally I'll do 2 or 3. That's if they're right on top of each other. All right, and this use skip drains. So that I've not really messed with, to be honest with you. I haven't found a time where I've needed to use that. With use precise tags, it's right there. That's more advanced. So once you get more advanced with making your schemas, this will be for you. But for now, as a beginner, don't even worry about that. There ain't no worry for that. But with use cache, if you're using a if you're using OSM OpenStreetMap, make sure before you generate you turn off use cache so stuff will show up. If you do not turn this off, stuff will not show up unless the stuff has been there edited like that for a good amount of time. If you just made the changes recently, you're going to want to make sure to turn off use cache. That's a lot of people's issue. With spline settings, this is for traffic and whatnot. You can also have it so it adds reverse splines. So you have traffic going this way and you have traffic going this way. Simple stuff. And you can select how dense you want them. And satellite images. Simple download of them. Like it says, in most cases, it's not recommended to really change this. But you can. So, like zoom level, it'll zoom into the picture more. This will add more margin to the pictures, adding a little more space. And then you simply would just come down here and hit generate. And so what'll happen, I'll just give you guys this example. We're not going to run through the whole thing. But as you see, this will come up. And this bar will come up with generating textures. It'll change what it's doing a few times, and this will fill up with blue. And up here, the way you know it's working as well is this little guy is changing into multiple different things. That guy's just going nuts, alright? And it'll say running. I didn't notice there was a stop button there before. Rerun. Huh, interesting. I never noticed that before. Well, yeah, and it fills up with blue. But after it generates, it'll have you download it, and you'll take that download, put it wherever you want in your your folder, wherever you want in your file explorer. I mean, because I've got too many folders to even compare to. But yeah, and that's really it for Maps 4FS for the day. The next video I'll be doing will show regular OpenStreetMap and JOSM. So this will get you going. This tutorial will get you going with generating your maps. It'll get it so you will be Giants Editor ready possibly. Though for me, for example, my most recent map, it was it's a 4X map. I also I put a lot of planning into it. If you want a lot planned before you even go into Giants Editor, then I also suggest JOSM is for you. I prefer using JOSM just because sometimes the painted roads can be a little messy, so I like to have them tweak some things to my liking. But other than that, this is just a really simple tutorial on how to get you going. The first steps of making your own map, you know? But this part is really easy. This part is not hard at all. There's no complications, nothing. And don't worry about this. I just haven't updated um my Docker version thing. I'm still getting used to this, so I'm learning. But yeah, but that's it for today. I'm hoping in the next few days I'll also have the video for JOSM and OSM. If not less amount of time, we shall see. My schedule's freaking crazy, especially tomorrow's Friday, so I work late as hell tomorrow. But we will see. I appreciate y'all coming in here. If you got any questions, I'll be linking the Maps for FS local page to the description, as well as the Maps for FS Discord and my Discord for any questions. Feel free to reach out either or. I'm active within both Discords usually, just because he's got great stuff going. Make sure you give him a thank you. Other than that, I will catch y'all later. Happy farming.